business perspective with the very bold title of Preparing to Succeed. But it would be more about like avoiding not to fail or trying not to fail. But it's basically, I will discuss a bit about how one might use AI in a way to reduce the risk and start benefiting from it since the small steps. So this first half of the workshop covers to me what I call the toolbox. It's me trying to give you guys background and setting the ground for us to have a discussion in the second part. Then comes the second part when we will try to do one hands-on exercise to define cases where you guys have interest according to your domains and business interests, and also a long session about discussion that we try to dig deeper and move forward with this workshop. Then finally, some 10 minutes about some closing remarks, especially regarding, I would like to ask feedback from you guys, because this is the first workshop in a series that we want to make like happening more than once. And we also want the topic of the workshops to evolve. So I would like to discuss in these closing remarks all these aspects of how we keep moving forward with this idea of sharing the knowledge, not only about AI, but about IT here in the region. And you are going to understand where I am aiming with this. But before we jump into the introductions, I would like just to break the ice with a video that I have prepared that will show already some small AI example. So this is just for the fun. I was playing other day with deepfakes. We all know about deepfakes, and then I was just doing some small joke about it. So I took pictures from, for instance, people from Miksei, and actually we can use AI to run deepfakes of them. So as you see here, Kimo does exactly what my face is doing, and it's not perfect because I needed to run in my home computer. Here you can see Mario, but it's pretty scary actually that nowadays it's very easy to mimic people and have their faces on the screen. So it works even with my boss. So I can ask a raise for myself, and I will get a raise. And it's interesting, and it's interesting how accessible it is nowadays for us to play around with these tools. And throughout the workshop, I will bring many examples to you that they might sound silly at the beginning, but we can dig further and discover that they are powerful for many things. This face that you see now on the left, this is a AI face. This person doesn't exist. And all the faces that I will pass now, they don't exist. They are all AI generated. So this is very interesting that for anonymity on the internet and many applications on how to stay, how to keep your data private, or you name it. It's a bit, sounds a bit like Black Mirror things, this series, that you can do many things with AI nowadays, and you can mimic children, adults, women, men, famous people from the past. So it's a pretty interesting tool. So I guess I recorded pretty much 1 minute of different faces. All people fake. All people, they are not real. And this is interesting, not only for the silly application, but for the applications with this world that we have now with virtual meetings. Those AI generated faces, they are useful. That if you are generating an AI, you don't need to be broadcasting your own video from your own camera, and you can generate an AI persona of yourself even. So there are many opportunities. So I just wanted to show this first example here in the introduction, just as one case that we can apply AI to do interesting things with video. Throughout the workshop, I will have other examples for us, but now let's move forward to the introductions part.
Before that, yes. Ulisses, sorry, I raised my hand, but I think you didn't record. I started recording this workshop, so I'm recording unless anyone objects that. If someone has something against recording, then please tell now, so I will stop recording. And I thought I would record the first 2 parts before the second break. Of this workshop, and when we go to the last part, I will stop recording. So what do you think? Can I record this workshop? Okay, then we will continue recording for the for the next generations. Okay.
Okay, yeah, the next generations will look these AI examples and these old people playing with these toys.
Right.
Okay, so now let's go a round of introductions. So, well, I have the order here. I don't know if it's the same order of you guys, but in my order, I have like Ville, Ivari, Mikko, Maria, Janne, Mikkeli Music Festival, Marco, and Osko is here from the beginning, so he's not in this list, but he's here in this screen. So maybe if we start by this order of names I told.
Was it so that I was the first one? So
yes.
This is quite rare because of my surname. Normally I'm the last one, and so I'm Ville Venäläinen, and I'm from Mindhive. I'm actually the founder of the company, and I have a long background on the IT, but actually I have also been doing an AI, but I did it, let's say in earlier years, that maybe I have been teaching neural networks, for example, but maybe the biggest thing that I have been involved with AI was a long time ago. I was participating in this kind of research project where we were doing this kind of money laundering detection system for the KRP and the Finnish banks, and maybe that's the most practical thing. So, but what comes to the AI, I have pretty good idea what is possible now and what can be done, even though Ulisses has much more in-depth and up-to-date information about that. But what comes to this workshop, I can maybe be a helping hand to describe some things in Finnish if needed.
Yes, thanks, Ville. Next in the list here, at least, is Ivari.
Okay, hello everybody. I'm Ivari Valkonen from SafetyCon, and actually my early background is from ICT business. I have a degree from information technology, and I've been working around 10 years about that business, and after that I changed into safety and rescue career. I've been working over 10 years in a fire brigade, and I'm working also as a teacher in emergency services college, and in recent years I worked mostly with safety trainings, and my main focus is developing a virtual reality environments to use with our trainings, safety trainings, and I'm here mostly to get some new ideas how to use these themes, and get some new contacts, maybe partners around that. Thank you.
Nice, thanks. Next one in my list is Osku.
Okay, hi. So my name is Osku. I have been entrepreneur years already. I have multiple companies. The best known in Mikkeli is Siivotaan, and basically one of the main values in Siivotaan is innovations, and we want to renew the whole cleaning industry with using these new technologies, and example AI. And basically we have already worked together with Mindhive in one bigger project. They have built us ERP system, so what we are using. So I'm looking forward to learn more what we can do with the AI, with the ERP, and also like Ivari, I would like to meet new persons who might have similar plans or similar goals. So together we can probably make it more efficient and cost effective for everyone to build new things. So looking forward to discuss more with you guys.
Nice, thanks Osku. Next in my list is Mikko.
Okay, hello everybody. I'm I'm Mikko Sajanlehto, CEO and founder of this eLife ecosystem. At eLife, we have developed a medical device or platform called eLife Care. Our platform enables preventive and proactive healthcare for those at increased risk by providing medical device-based automatic disease screening and monitoring at home in a medically effective way. And we are used for traditional analytics based on vital signals and those analytics and an IE approach. I have some experience with the random forest method in AE field. But maybe this is enough at this time.
Yes, thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Next is Maria.
Hello, I'm Marja Jähisalo, and yes, I have a long experience, but not at all from the technical background. What is essential for today, I was actually information executive when all these networks were established and when mobile phones and so on were introduced for 5 years. So that part I'm familiar with. And then I've worked in the for example, international education. I came to establish this Mikkeli business program, which is now run by Aalto University. I did it 10 years. So making international connections and whatever. Now I've been, or at the moment, I'm actually producing or running two internet exactly programs, but I'm producing cultural net media. It's nationwide or national in Finland. Plus then Yakon fee, which is a service in the internet, and it's established such a way that somebody who puts or service provider puts once his or her information, and then it can be delivered in different services like different net pages. Then it can be in people's emails, Facebook, and so on. And then also those who want this information, it's based on open information, and it can be ordered in those different medias. Plus then people can order that information they want to, which they are interested in. So that's in short. But really I worked with people who have this expertise in technical services or IT. But what I'm interested in, just to know what's going on, so I'm kind of like a listener and want to know more what is up to date. And I realized that I should have also participated the previous session or seminar what you had, but it's good to know that Kimmo is recording it so I can listen, because this data collection is interesting too. So yes, thank you.
Nice, thanks, thank you. And the next on the list is Janne.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Janne Muikkunen from Rocksolid IT, and actually Rocksolid Oy nowadays, because we left the IT out a while ago. And yeah, background basically from ICT, and a long time also outside of Finland, almost 20 years in Germany. So yeah, AI has been at least part of my career previously, from the travel industry perspective and how travel bookings are done. So they was already used AI quite a bit some while ago, and pricing engines and so on. But otherwise, not too much to do with AI in my business. What we do, we take Finnish companies to German market. So basically that's our business currently, and we are doing mainly this together with my spouse, German spouse, who are actually today in the office, and I'm taking care of our little one. And yeah, expectations, Ulisses, what can I say? Especially from a sales and marketing perspective, I'm interested to understand how profiling can be done when trying to find prospects and partners for our customers in the German market. So all those kind of ideas would be good, but I'm interested in general to know how AI is looking like and what are the possibilities nowadays. So thanks.
Nice, thank you. Then the next on the list is Mikkeli Music Festival. I got your real name on the email, but please, your time to introduce.
Yeah. Good morning, all. My name is Teemu Laasonen, and I seem to have logged in with the wrong account. I don't know how it happened. Although I also work for Mikkeli Music Festival, I'm representing my company, Music Fairy Tales, in this session. So I'm interested to learn how AI could be useful and profitable for our business. And so I'm just trying to learn some new things here.
Nice, thank you. Then next we have Juha Parkkinen.
Good morning. Juha Parkkinen and eLife ecosystem, like as Mikko says, Mikko already told what we do. Medical devices and ecosystem is our business. I'm CTO and I'm interested about this AI and what we can what kind of new how can I say new ideas we can get it with it.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah.
I think that's
thanks.
all.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Juha. And next is Marco. And then if I forgot someone, please tell me. But Marco is the last on my list.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Marko Tanninen from SuomiConnect here in lovely sunny Ottawa. And nice to see a neighbor here from Ottawa, Teemu. And SuomiConnect, we are an IoT company. I was running the previous workshop, which was based on IoT and data collection. And I'm kind of along on this workshop as Ulisses' partner in crime. So we do lots of work together with Mindhive and developing, and they develop software, and we partake in projects together where we provide the hardware side and they provide the software side. And I have a background in R&D, electronics, automation, sensor development, sensor fusion, and some of the stuff that Ivari was telling about was quite interesting to me, because I worked at a company called Environics, and I have also taught some courses at the Rescue College in Kuopio on CBRN detection and protection, and I'm also very interested in learning the latest and greatest in the world of artificial intelligence. Thank you.
Thank you, Marco, and thank you all for the nice round of introductions. It was actually very interesting to hear such a diverse background, and I think this will do very good for the workshop. So now, and we are exactly on time. This is never happened before. So let's now move to start the workshop. Let me just double check. Do you see now again my PowerPoint screen?
Yes, it's visible.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Well, so let's start now with the more me speaking part, and then we jump to the hands-on at the end. But please do interrupt me, especially because I don't see the raise hands, because I have full screen here. It would be very nice if you really interrupt me if you need to ask a question. Let's make this a conversation. So to start a bit, I will introduce myself and talk a bit about my background. I am actually a biologist by formation, and I started early in 2004 in biology in Brazil, so long time ago. And I worked in Amazon for many years doing my research there. And then I came to Finland actually to do my PhD, which was in between ecology, data science, and machine learning. So what I did, I developed software to identify bird species by the sound they made. And in my thesis, I covered pretty much the entire range of topics that I am working nowadays, and also from the beginning, like from the pure biologist work, going to the fields, collecting the animals, recording their voices, to the very IT sector nowadays, which is working with machine learning and neural networks and identification of signals mostly. So if there's a field in AI which I specialized, it is in audio processing and in signal recognition. But throughout the years, I have acquired experience on many other tools, and throughout the long 7-year PhD period, I tested a lot with technology before arriving in what we used for the software that came out of my thesis. You might be asking yourself how I end up in Mikkeli, and you might be even more shocked if I tell you that I live in Juva, actually. And this was a personal decision before Corona times, but actually in very good timing, that me and my wife, after the PhD, we decided to move to a calmer place and live a calmer life in kind of a farm style. But because of my background, basically the only professions that I can do are either teaching, academic, or working with technology. Luckily for me, I found Mindhive when little more or less half a year after I have moved here and tried to learn the language a bit. And I started working in Mindhive in the beginning of last year. So moving to 1.5 year at Mindhive soon. And there I work as a data scientist and AI specialist, but I also work on developing internal processes, coordinating projects, and pretty much any type of work that a startup might need. As you know, on startups, we work with a pretty broad set of things. But that's more or less my story, how I end up here in the region and how I end up working with AI. So from biology to statistical ecology to only statistics, and then to data science, I was becoming more and more numeric quantitative. Then a bit about Mindhive and about this workshop idea. So Mindhive is a digitalization company here in the region that helps other companies basically to achieve their dreams through digitalizations. So this is our main idea, like how to make your ideas to thrive in digital. And we have different expertise to reach this goal. So we are a company that it's working not only on the implementation of IT solutions and making the software itself, but we work on all the levels of making ideas digitally viable. So from the idea conception, from helping the client to define a product and define how to solve problems, to service design, to software architecture engineering, to the production of software, maintenance of software, etc., etc. And this workshop happens with the same spirit. Like, I want to carry the message to you that AI is just a tool to make your ideas happen in the real world, or in this case, into the digital world. So this is one of the pillars of this workshop, that we don't want to impose expertise. We want to define ideas together with you and by discussion to make one idea a great product. And then the other pillar of this workshop is our desire to create a local AI network, because we have companies here in the region with the very different sizes, status, and level of business. But we want to detect multiple companies in the region, like multiple nodes of this network that can start to create momentum for us to develop this side of the region here. So to develop structure, to develop local services, and to develop training on AI and technology and IT for the region. We don't want to do this alone by no means, but we want help to develop this network and get more people involved. Exactly like the diversity that it's attending this workshop now. People that have just curiosity for a topic, curiosity of using technology to generate business and to generate new ideas, So all these people are interested to be reached and to build a network. So this is the spirit that we want to have for this series of workshop, and what I told you that we would like to have it moving, that we evolve with this in a series of workshop, in a series of discussion, and in collaboration for the future. And why is that? Well, that is because Finland is a leading country in creating artificial intelligence business. But despite this, and also despite the government goal of educating its citizens about AI, the adoption of AI still out of reach for many companies. So in this slide, you can see many companies from Finland that they are AI companies. So we have these enabler companies that are building technology using AI for other companies to build their products. We have AI consultancies, like big companies that are doing work to bring AI to people and to help people to achieve AI products. And we have a pretty good bunch of product companies that are companies that are profiting and making AI their business. But they kind of live in a bubble. They still very centered pretty much around Helsinki and some areas. And even there, they are living inside a bubble. When we go to the numbers of companies really using AI in Finland, you can see that actually that are not that many companies. So in 2020, for instance, only 3% of the Finnish companies were adopting AI. So a bit more than 1,000 companies were benefiting and producing profit by employing AI as one of their main products and important for them. The trend is growing, as you can see from previous years to last year. It's always growing, but still much slower than originally thought, even by the Finnish government. Like, the Finnish strategy is to become one of the leaders in AI in the world. And we are, but not to everyone. And this is the part that we want to make the bridge. We want to help bring AI kind of more and more to the real world, or more and more out of this bubble that we see happening. Here on the right, you can see that there are many challenges to make this happen, and the companies that are willing to use AI and the ones that are already using, they point many challenges or problems that they face when trying to have AI for their products. We will cover throughout this workshop many of those issues and discuss about them, but mostly we will discuss how to avoid them, or how to start in a way that those things will be minimized. So that's the background, and that's how the idea for this workshop started. We want AI as a tool to solve problems, and we want to emphasize, let's not worry so much yet around the tool, but let's worry now about the problems. So we want to start here defining what are our business problems that we want to solve by AI. And by that, I mean, it can be any problem, like the diversity we have here in this room. It can be a very specific problem that you have already crystal clear on your mind, or it can be just a problem or a issue that come out of your curiosity, come out just by pure curiosity. So don't feel pressure to have an idea. So let's start with this question, basically. And throughout the entire introduction, I would like you to have this question in the back of your mind. When I'm showing examples, let's try to figure out what the AI case or the AI example was solving for the example that it was the motivation for them to have the AI. So I would like you, for your context and your case, to think about what would be the 3 things that you wish worked better in your company or in your context. And I would like you to pinpoint also why aren't they working yet. This will be pretty much our starting point for discussion later, and it will help us quite a lot to move forward on trying to solve things by AI. So please keep this question in mind while we see this presentation now for the next slides. So starting from the broad and going to the specific, we see AI as an opportunity, and AI can be defined as the effort to automate intellectual tasks normally performed by humans. And where there's human thinking, there's potential. So that's why AI is so broad, because there are humans thinking on pretty much any field of creativity that we have. So you can have AI to bring business solution. You can have AI inside the academic and inside the R&D connected with the business. But not only there, you can have AI in educational field, not only for the formal education, but for education of society, education of citizens. You can have AI into the culture field, and you can have AI, of course, into the public services. So all these bubbles, they are not independent, and they are connected and interacting with each other. And so are the AI solutions that come to develop those fields. So as the people here in this workshop are quite diverse, also are the AI solutions. And I will try now to speak about examples that will cover all these bubbles, so we get kind of a big picture before jumping into the specific. So let's start with some industries that AI have been solving problems from long ago. So there are many applications of AI in multiple industries, and for each case here on the left, I would like you to think what people were needing to work better in their own fields, and why this wasn't working better before and started to function better after the AI. We will try to approach our AI cases with this mindset. So in the machine and process industries, we have cases like predictive maintenance, digital twins, visual quality control. Later in the example section, I will talk more about predictive maintenance, when you have AI to tell when a machine is about to break, so you can act before the machine breaks and not react after the machine has broken. And visual quality control is this thing that we all know, like you have this pipeline of products coming in the line, and you have a camera that will monitor and find defective product before it's too late. So those are types of solutions that work quite well in industry. I will have one entire section about industry, so I will not stay too much time here. But we have also, for the energy field, we have AI helping in energy consumption prediction, also visual quality control, and also predictive maintenance, because the energy industry is, of course, one factory style industry as well. Then for the maritime industry, we have object detection, like computer vision to read labels, to read identification of containers, and to bookkeep containers logistics. We have awareness systems to manage port logistics and port dynamics. And we have also autonomous vessels and ports to take care of logistics, but also saving fuel, optimizing routes, etc. Into the mobile and telecommunications industry, we have, of course, network optimization and planning, network capacity prediction, but also nowadays quite a lot with customer service, customer interaction, and customer customization. Inside the medical and the pharma fields, we have AI supporting cognitive and diagnostic work. This is very well known for our colleagues from the Elive app here. Computer vision aided surgery, and these things that we see nowadays, that AI can do wonders to assist people to get improved, optimized results in their fields. Then we have smart devices and autonomous vehicles. So IoT used for countless opportunities, but for security, sensor fusion and perception. So making machines not only reactive, but feeling the environment. Also object detection and tracking, so the machines can start moving around, robotics, etc. Financial industry, it's also another field that benefits greatly with AI. Nowadays, with natural language processing, like computers are capable to understand language and help people to get more work done faster. Risk categorization, fraud detection, things that Ville has told in his introduction. Those are very common fields in the financial industry. Then retail and logistics, advertising and media, internet and games, all this internet industry, they benefit greatly from AI. Legal industry, etc., etc. So we have AI all around. So, but we need to break down the problem into smaller pieces so we can start understanding the problem. So pretty much everything that I talked before, it can be divided into 3 groups. So usually an AI solution, it will bring an automation solution that will help you to get things done, that will help you to automate machines. And then we have like the entire field of Internet of Things and the artificial intelligence of things. We have machine-to-machine communication. We have the so-called Industry 4.0. That those are all things that connect with Marco's workshop a couple of weeks ago. And those are the things that mostly benefit in the industries, the industrial environment. But automation doesn't speak only about machines, but also the automation of intellectual work. So this also, it's about automating the body stuff, so you release space for creativity and for other types of jobs. Then another big domain that AI can be divided, it's the analytics. So data analysis, business intelligence, gaining competitive advantage, predicting and forecasting the future. In short, discovering new ways to make sense of the world. This is another great field for AI, and we have seen lots of progress on techniques about analytics. And finally, closer to us, there's the engaging part, that AI is used to engage people into new ways of working, new ways of seeing the world. So improved experience for users, great customer experience, new ways to interact with machines, augmented reality, all those AI tools, they serve to engage people with new ways of seeing the world. Not only final users and customers, but any type of worker can engage differently to a machine nowadays. And I'd like also to make clear that these 3 bubbles that I have put AI now, they interact. It's obvious that to get automation, we need the analytics part operating with it. And for the automation to work properly with the human side, we need an engaging experience. So these fields, they all interact. So keep that in mind throughout the presentation as well. And then I would like to talk a bit about the trends, the current trends in AI. So nowadays we have the trend that we have here on the right side, these big companies like Amazon, Google, Microsoft, big companies doing hardware as well, NVIDIA, like these companies are the big guys providing us the tools and the environment to develop AI solutions. But then we have the layer of companies that bring the solutions to us and that construct the solutions. And nowadays, we see more and more companies building AI solutions as a software as a service. So this is one big trend, that we can start using AI from the cloud and build as a software that it's easy to use. Solutions, they come packaged, they come as a pack capable to solve common problems. So you can see here at the base of the slide that we have the machine learning tools, we have computer vision tools that they are specialized to solve some types of problems. We have natural language processing tools that they are specialized to solve other sort of problems. And these are hosted on the cloud and ready to scale to any size nowadays. Other thing that it's trendy and we need to pay attention when talking about AI is the data privacy and the European regulations about AI, and not only the European, but the entire world regulations about AI. So there's discussions about ethics, about how you use AI, how you keep people anonymous. Those things are very serious and very much a debate nowadays. But another trend that comes to our help is that we no longer need experts throughout the entire process. So tools are getting simpler to use, more user-friendly and human-friendly, and they are more and more accessible. So this is a very good trend that AI is not only the domain of experts nowadays, but it's getting reachable for anyone. And finally, another trend that it's quite important is that AI is happening more and more on what we call the edge and tiny AI, which means that connected to the IoT, connected to machines, connected to devices, we have AI happening on the machine. So you don't need anymore to download the data to a server. Of course, to some applications we do need, but the more and more we are solving common problems by having very light systems working on the technology that we need the AI working. So this covers like drones, sensors, small machines inside industry, networks of sensors, cell phones, you name it. Many tools nowadays are capable to do AI. So AI is getting more and more accessible hardware-wise as well. So the environment, it's a bit more like this. We have the big companies providing the environment and the structure for the other companies to develop products that are simpler to use by AI, like interpretable machine learning, auto machine learning, this type of plug and play AI solutions. Then we have companies like us, like Mindhive, that they are providing consultancy for local companies on how to benefit from this environment to start to generate their own product companies, so their own products. So this is a more realistic of how the AI environment of companies works nowadays. Before I stop talking and we have a break, we are almost there. I would like just to quickly skip through some examples from the industry. So as I told in the beginning, for industrial cases, the AI can bring benefits basically from automation. So the goals are to maximize and optimize processes, reduce operational costs through automation, bring automation to places where it wasn't possible before, and while automating, bring quality assurance. So making sure that your process is doing what you want. So there are plenty of places where AI can help together with the IoT. This is the field of artificial intelligence of things, that we create networks of machines that work jointly. So one case, it's the machine predictive maintenance, which is basically the problem that you have is that machines, they break down out of time. You can't predict, so you need to stop your entire production line, and this is costly. So what AI does for those systems is that the AI can predict when a machine is about to break by employing sensors that will detect like temperature, vibration, ultrasonic noises. There are many different techniques that the machine starts to tell before it's too late, and then you can book maintenance and you don't need to necessarily interrupt your entire production line, and this can save you lots of money. So that's basically the goal of predictive maintenance, and it has uses for different industries, manufacturing, energy plants, but many other fields where machines are utilized. Another field, it's advanced quality control, where it's a bit of the same problem that in the predictive system, when you react to a machine breaking too late, you need to slow down your production line. But if your machine runs out of specs and you start producing items that are not according to the necessity, then you are also you have a problem that you need to stop your production line, to recalibrate the machine, or to put the machine back to producing the product in the specifications you want. This is very costly, and AI can help you by using computer vision techniques you are capable to see if the products that are coming out of production line, if they meet the necessary expectations, and you can react to that fast. And the numbers show that these techniques in companies that are using can bring lots of benefits and less reliance on human operators to perceive the error and then react to that. Then another field, it's using analytics for industrial processes. So one example is Stora Enso's AI. It has it suggests parameters for the chemical process of pulp production. So they have a process that it's very complicated, and usually the calibration of the machine or the calibration of the chemical components is done by a human, usually an expert. This person is expensive and needs to be like moving around between factories. So the AI solution can suggest how you calibrate the chemical components, how you calibrate proportions, and you can get the same result or better results than the human. And then you don't need to rely on the expert being available all the time. That's the idea of this type of solution. So it's basically using data analytics to the pulp, chemistry, fermentation, pharmaceutical, to any company that needs to deal and untangle complex processes. Then also a bit of education. So AI can bring us different educational infrastructure, intelligent learning, generate local expertise in the environment for business incubators to discuss new ideas and to raise local experts, and also to attract new talent to the region. So developing the AI network also develop the field of education. So AI can power new ways of learning, and as I said, attract new brains for the region and boost what is done here in the region. So opening up new workforce and new ways of doing business as a consequence. So this has benefits not only for the educational institutions here in the region, but for the entire environment of companies. But also, we can already act in the present. I wanted to talk about this example from the Corona times, that we are all now in our houses full time, staying isolated with people here. You only see same people every day, and you start to get isolated, get stressed, get not in a good mood, and teens are suffering a lot with this. So AI, for instance, can work to detect social isolation in the youth and enhance student well-being. So nowadays you can have like chatbots that would detect potential like depressive cases, people that are overly quiet, etc., etc. So AI can be used not only as a tool, but as a tool for machines, but a tool for understanding people as well. Then I'm going a couple of minutes over the time, but it will be 5 more minutes. So I want to talk also about the smart cities powered by AI as a bunch of examples. So more efficient and connected operations in cities, health and social care, public and private, can benefit a lot from AI, and also smart citizens that have transparent access to their data and are capable to make better and informed decisions. So AI can benefit cities on multiple levels. So the most obvious one and well-known is the AI-assisted smart cities, that you have big complex systems that nowadays IoT allows us to have cameras, to have sensors, to have many types of machines generating data. And this big stream of data needs to be combined and digested for people to be capable to read and make sense out of it. And this allows us to have smart cities that are monitored and update information real time from multiple sources. So traffic information, security information, hospital information, fire department information, you name it. There are many examples of how data from multiple sources can be combined and made useful for managing cities. Also, AI can be used to assist us in the very complicated public services in Finland. So there's this Aurora AI case that became quite famous, that Finland wants to use AI to help citizens to navigate their systems. So basically, you would have chatbots that are smart enough not only to guide you and provide you information on where you find information, but help you navigate the systems without needing to change websites all the time. The AI would be capable to guide you according to the issue you want to solve, to guide you towards the best solution without making you go through 100 websites of bureaucracy before you happen to find a human that can solve your problems. So this is a very interesting and bold example from Finland, that they are trying to have personal assistants like Siri, like your phone assistant, also to aid in the public services. Intelligent systems to support and manage data. Those are computer vision tools. They can help archives, museums, libraries to make sense of their data and speed up the process of labeling and identifying materials like photographs or newspaper, etc., etc. So it's very much used nowadays, and also has lots of application, not only with public data, but also big companies making sense out of their data. And then I have some AI demonstrations, but let's have the 10 minutes 10-minute interval, and then we come back to have the demonstration as the introduction for the next part. Before going to the interval, would you guys like to make some questions? Sorry for having this long speech, but this was more to get us going. From now on, we will have a more discussion style thing. But I wanted to cover you one introduction to give you the potential of AI in the very broad terms that we have now, like for this very broad audience we have. So now we can have a short discussion session, and then we will have the main discussion session also at the very end, 40 minutes for us to wrap up and discuss. But thank you, and let's have questions and then the 10-minute break.
Yes, so any questions? I don't see any raised hands here in the panel, but if anyone wants to ask someone, please speak out now. Okay, no questions, so yes, we go to the break. Okay.
Yeah, so
at what time shall we see?
Yes, let's be back here 10:15. Is it okay, guys?
Yep.
Okay, so see you then.